Hello everybody, my name is Bling and today we have more Xenoblade X. Today is going to be another build video and today we'll be taking a look at Thermal Gatling. This Gatling build in particular will revolve around the range attack based arts Bullet Storm, Missile Volley, and Fire Carnival. However, if you really wanted to, you can make your build revolve around Thermal Payload. Thermal Payload is a very strong potential based art that is actually one of the strongest non-ether arts in the game. However, if you do this, you will have to run a comparatively specific build with little leeway and freedom in terms of skills and augment slots, which is why I am running these range attack based arts, as I have more freedom and leeway in terms of skills and augment slots. As I've mentioned in some of my previous videos, if you cannot kill the enemy before it kills you, then obviously the next priority should be survivability. So that's why I am running a survivability aura instead of a DPS aura like full specs on knife. Thinking of this, I considered defensive stance and super shield prior to choosing Raijin here. I did not choose defensive stance because I came to the conclusion that damage reduction is not worth building versus these tyrants, higher level tyrants, as the damage output from them is too high even with the damage reduction unless you resistance stack, which will still take up augment slots, and I did not like that. As for super shield, while it did offer me what's more or less a better defensive stance with reflect, which for those who don't know is extremely broken, the TP gain on shield was too slow for my liking. Now don't get me wrong, trash talk giving 1800 TP at low 3 morale per use is really good, but it was just a bit too slow for my liking. So I started to wonder what weapon gave me reflect and very good fast TP gain. And lo and behold, Javelin was just exactly what I'm looking for. Overwhelm is a great TP cannon art in overdrive, extremely fast cooldown and extremely fast animation. It will give you 3k TP at just about the snap of a finger. Raijin gives me the reflect that I'm looking for, as well as an 80% crit chance buff that I will go a bit more detail into when I go to skills. But let's quickly talk about the game plan here. It's very simple actually. What we're going to do, we're going to hair trigger, then we're going to use maximum voltage or bullet storm for our double count bonus. You really do not need overdrive count for this build. Because of this, you get count extremely fast. Then once we reach max count, we just spam Missile Volley and Fire Carnival pretty much. Very simple, like I said. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ground gear here, the armor and augments. Now this is a very broad build in terms of augments. You can run 100 or rapid cooldown versus literally every other enemy than Gradivus, because only Gradivus, as far as I know, uses 5 out of 6 attributes, so that means that's 5 out of 6 reflects that you would need to have if you are running a reflect build. Most enemies only use between 2 and 4, so that's a few slots that you have to work with to put whatever you want in terms of utility. Perhaps you're running that thermal payload build from earlier. You can use those slots for more potential or resistance reducer to topple the enemy easier. On my weapons, I have a little bit of secondary cooldown reducer, and that's because I like my cooldowns to be a bit lower. If you want to, you can take them off for more range attack up, so you can get more damage per art, but you might end up with less DPS in the end, since you can't use your arts as fast, though that's completely up to you. Despite not needing an overdrive count up, you might just want to get to that max count as soon as possible, so if you want to, you can go ahead and put 1 or 2 on there if you really want to. There's just a lot of fun stuff you can do with this build. It's really cool, it's really fun. Alright, let's take a look at the skills here. Now you have some freedom with what you can use as skills. However, I personally recommend that you always at least have combo gunner, boosted bullets, and trigger happy. Unless you have 100 or rapid cooldown, and then you can take off trigger happy for whatever you want. Now you have 2 skill slots to work with and put whatever you want on. I mentioned earlier that I will take note of Raijin's 80% crit chance boost, and that's because I am using red zone. Now having a lot of crit chance isn't all that useful without crit power, since you need crit power to get worthwhile damage out of your crits. However, even without crit power, a crit is still a minor damage bonus, and since I have 2 slots to work with freely, I personally feel like it was worth having on. On my other slot, I have secondary cooldown, secondary accelerator, and I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. If you haven't noticed already by me being in Oblivia and talking about Gradivus earlier, I will be fighting Gradivus in this video. And despite the fact Gradivus already has negative 50 thermal resistance, so I will be doing more damage to him than say Farsis, Gradivus still has over 9 times Farsis' health, so I feel like it will still be a testament as to how effective this build can be. Overall, it's a really cool build, and I hope you guys like it and mess with it yourself someday. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.
Trigger! Bullet Storm! Overworked! Still going! Hair Trigger! burst of overdrive! Missile volley! Fire carnival! Missile volley! Fire carnival! Right! Overwhelm! Oh yeah, baby! Overdrive! Fire carnival! Missile volley! Fire carnival! Get through! Missile volley! Fire carnival! Bullet storm! Ready for some overdrive? Overwhelm! Bullet storm! Missile volley! Fire carnival! Missile volley! Fire carnival! Missile volley! Fire carnival! Oh yeah, baby! Overdrive! Missile volley! Fire carnival! Right! Oh baby, you gotta try this aura thing. Missile volley! Fire carnival! Missile volley! Fire carnival! Missile volley! Fire carnival! Missile volley! Yeah? Here for the free whipping? Bullet storm! Oh, that hurt. That's a little weaken you so you die fast. Yeah? Missile volley! Fire carnival! 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 Bullet storm! Ready for some overdrive? Well done, hurting people! Overdrive! Overwhelm! Ready for some overdrive? Fire carnival! Missile volley! 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 Fire carnival! Bullet storm! Right! Overwhelm! Oh yeah, baby! Overdrive! Fire carnival! Missile volley! Fire carnival! Missile volley! Fire carnival! Woo! You did it!